Hello and welcome. Welcome. So good to see you here. Today we're going to be talking about how to protect ourselves, how to keep our energy safe, how to feel safe doing what we're doing, coming out of this lockdown, and more importantly, how to feel safe with whatever had happened in the last few months. I mean, it's 2 months already that we've been in lockdown, and slowly and gently we are starting to come out. So thank you so much for everyone who's joining. I'm very happy that you are sharing this time with us. I want to thank More Yoga. I want to thank all of you for being part of this transmission. My name is Eduardo Blanco. I have a spiritual name called Ankh Samsara. And today we're going to be talking about keeping our energy safe. So if you want to stay along, I'm going to be sharing with you a few tips that is going to give you the opportunity to try it for yourself, how to stay safe once we go back to the wild world. So, and stay tuned, we're going to wait just a few more minutes for more people to join us. And hopefully it would be an amazing time to be together. So get some glass of water if you have around you. And I want to start by bringing you a statement. This is something that I heard from my teacher a few years back. He told me, if you feel you have something to lose, you already lost. And this is something that back then, he just made me kind of scared. What do you mean, if I feel I have something to lose, I already lost? I mean, of course, when we are afraid, we feel like we have so much to lose. Like there is so much out there that threatens our safety and security. So how could we arrive to the point where we are not afraid of losing what we most value? And that's where we have to look in what it is that we value the most. What it is that you have acquired in these last 2 months of lockdown. You have had the opportunity to slow down. You have had the opportunity to look at yourself and the world that surrounds you in a very different light. And it is now time to go back outside and begin to wonder, begin to observe the world from a very different perspective. Now we have now two options, I believe. And these two options are either we come out of this lockdown stronger and we come out feeling like we have discovered something about ourselves and our surrounding that is making the world of difference, and we feel so empowered right now that you feel that you can start a new job, that you can quit your old job, or that you can restart your new relationship with your partner, or I mean whatever it is that happened to you in this period of quarantine, this lockdown that we had, where when we were told that we needed to isolate to not only save ourselves but to save others. So it was like the responsibility was put on us to make sure that everyone else was safe. So, and therefore emotionally we were made to go to look into us, to look into how am I behaving, what am I feeling in this time, what is happening within me that can affect others. And I think this is a key element that brings a very different perspective into our new world view. Hello everyone who's joining. Thank you so very much for being part of this transmission. If you're just joining right now, we are talking about how to feel safe, how to break out of this lockdown and begin to access the world outside and feel safe. I'm going to talk about three different aspects: the physical, emotional, and spiritual, because these three bodies, these three energetic bodies, they tend to feel vulnerable, especially depending on the beliefs of others, on the collective consciousness that surrounds us. That means your family, that means your community, that means your government, your organizations, and your own beliefs of what you think is true, what you for you feels it's true. And my idea of this transmission today is to share some experience that has made me feel empowered in the most disempowering and frightening moments. And this moment of coming out of your bubble of safety can be very frightening. So we have to be kind to ourselves, because this could be the very beginning of a bright new future life that is presented to you. But we have to come out courageous. We have to come out with all the power of our psyche, of our spirituality, of our intelligence, of our physicality, and come out and say, this is who I am, and I'm going to feel safe because I am ready to confront my vulnerabilities, my fears, the insecurities, because it is the only way that we will manage to feel stronger. If we are humble enough, wise enough, strong enough to accept that we are vulnerable, to accept that there is a part of us that needs to be cared for and loved and protected. And that is what we are talking today about. So, I'm sure that a lot of us are adjusting to this new reality. If you want to pop your experience on how you're feeling right now, actually, I would like to ask you, how are you feeling right now? Because this is actually quite important. I mean, we can always say, yes, I want to focus on the bright side and I feel strong and full of energy and I feel bright and full of love and whatever. But if we are talking about being able to embrace our vulnerability, let me ask you, how are you feeling right now? And if you could be honest with yourself first, because that is the most important step, being honest with oneself, to say, okay, yes, I feel strong because I'm choosing to feel strong, but is there any underlying condition? And for that, we have to go into meditation, we have to go into retrospection. You have to be able to close your eyes and look at yourself beyond the judgment of the mind, beyond of the judgment of this is how you should be feeling. More like a, come on, I invite you to be honest and take the time to listen to yourself. So, I invite you to close your eyes and take a very deep, long breath. And I ask you, in the scale of 1 to 10, how safe do you feel right now? You have your eyes closed, and as you ask this question to yourself, a number should appear. A number should come up in your mind's eye. And just notice that number. We are not judging that number, you're simply acknowledging that when you ask yourself the question, how safe do I feel right now in the scale of 1 to 10, a number simply appears. And that means that whatever that number is, even if it's 10, and that's very interesting, even if it's 10, you say, oh, I feel 10%, or in the scale of 1 to 10, I feel a 10 safe. Remember that 10, it's 1 and a 0. It has a duality. It's all and nothing. It's like a yes, I feel very safe. But like the yin yang, there is always a point where there is the darkness in all the light, there is a light in all the darkness. And this is what we are trying to find right now. This is what we are trying to connect right now into how do I really feel? How do you really feel? How safe you feel? And what coping mechanisms do you have to feel safer? And this is going to be the first coping mechanism to feel safer, regardless of which condition or circumstances you find yourself in. The first thing that I use is tapping. The emotional freedom technique, or tapping, it is considered one of the most powerful therapies, treatments to deal with PTSD. Now, I will use this therapy to totally disconnect the belief from the emotion. So if right now you have your number that came up in your mind, and it's let's say 7. I feel 7. In the scale of 1 to 10, I feel safe. Brilliant. So what it is, that means that 3. What part of those 3 points, where is that insecurity? And I begin, although I feel this insecure, although I feel this afraid, although I feel not that safe, I love and accept myself totally and unconditionally. Tapping and meditation. It is one of the most powerful techniques I know to build a safety bubble, to allow you to disconnect the limiting beliefs from what is real. And the limiting beliefs comes into play when you believe that you are not safe, that there is something that is threatening your security and your safety. So let's take a deep breath in again. And close your eyes, and I ask you, in the scale of 1 to 10, how safe do you feel going out there? When you go to the street, when you go to the market, when you go to work, when you go and use public transport, when you go out there and meet people that you don't know, how safe do you feel? And this is where things begin to get a bit trickier. because it's very difficult to feel safe when we hear so much about the insecurity that is happening out there, the turmoil, the rioting, the anger, the fear, the anxiety that is going on out there. And we can be very peaceful within ourselves, or at least maintain our bubble of peace. But at some point we have to break it. And we have to be very brave. And you have to allow yourself to feel the fear and yet go out there and be integrate into society. Now, how are we going to be able to integrate into society and still feel safe? How I do it, or the way I do it, is I maintain the focus on my breathing. And I try as much as possible to connect either with my pulse, my breathing patterns, and my tapping. This tapping point is called the karate point. You can do this, I do it at any point, in any moment, in any circumstance that threatens my peace of mind, or that threatens my inner safety. When people begin to talk and you feel that they are kind of vomiting their emotions to you, and you are trying to shield yourself and move on, but at the same time you want to connect because you're an empath, and you have to listen because there is a part beyond yourself that connects to these people and say, I feel what you're feeling. I know what you're feeling. Therefore, I cannot just ignore you and walk away, because I'm walking away from a part of me. And that is not something that we're going to do. We're going to connect with every single vulnerable part of us. So I would say, if you find yourself in contact with people who are highly vibrating in a highly frequency of fear or anxiety, and for some reason you have to be there because there are probably colleagues, or you are you're traveling on the bus, or there's countless circumstances. Breathe long and deep and tap. Focus on your breathing. Inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Extremely powerful. Take your time. The best moment of safety is when you get the opportunity to stop. Stop. If you're feeling frightened, if you're feeling threatened, if you're feeling anxious, give yourself the time to stop. Close your eyes, or if you cannot close your eyes, just take a deep breath in, exhale, and tap. There are different tapping points. The tapping points that I work with are 9 through the body plus the karate point. This one is the one I use in public because honestly it comes to a point when I am either listening or experiencing or facing situations that are highly conflicting to my energy, and to not lose the cool, I tap. Now, if you don't know anything about tapping, I would invite you very strongly to Google EFT or tapping. This is a technique that is used by veterans of war to help them help them free themselves of the PTSD of war. I use this technique since 2012, and it helped me uh, resolve and serve through very difficult experiences, therapy experiences of my own child abuse. So it is hugely powerful in moments of trauma and crisis. Now, I want to share with you also that I do this tapping along with a meditation, Kundalini meditation. And I call this fusion of these two techniques, the tapping and the Kundalini meditation, I call it Tapilini. And Tapilini has just been featured in Vogue Arabia. And I have to thank Saha Mamta for her article. And she has been practicing this meditation and not only connects through the power of tapping, but with the power of the Kundalini mantra. Guru Guru Vahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru. We repeat this mantra 5 times in one breath, and we repeat it 108 times. This mantra lasts about 25 minutes, but it's more than a mantra, it's a therapy. It's a full therapy because in my own experience and the experiences for everyone who has practiced this meditation, you can start with whatever level of anxiety, depression, anger, guilt, shame, loss, grief. You can feel like the world is upon you and you're going to die right now if somebody sneezes in front of you. And you can feel the anxiety and the fear. 25 minutes of Tapilini. Guru Guru Vahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru 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 Vahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru. 5 times in one breath, 108 times. You want to feel safe? You have to create the vibration within yourself that connects mind, body, and emotions, and aligns them in a place where of balance, that you know that whatever happens, in whichever moment of your life, you can always go back to a technique that is being proven scientifically. Both of them, EFT, the tapping, and the Kundalini yoga, through millennia, because the tapping comes from the Chinese medicine of acupuncture, and it works with the meridians of the body. If you are new to the meridians of the body, meridians are lines that run from north to south in terms of our body. And they work as energy highways. And the points that we tap are places where normally our energy jams, creates a traffic jam. So when we tap together and we repeat the mantra Guru Guru Vahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru, which in Sanskrit is cycle and recycle from darkness to light in a constant mantra that trains our mind to release the limiting beliefs and connects to the unlimited power of our body, mind, and spirit. Obviously, this requires a process. It requires time and again to do your practice. Unfortunately, if we are watching this, if we are connected in yoga, in meditation, if we are connected in natural healing, if we are connected through different alternative therapies, we have already taken the red pill and we have wakened the F up. And we know that we have to take responsibility not only for our safety and security, but for our health and for the safety and security that everything and everyone that surrounds us. Because that say that we are all one, yes, is very true, but it doesn't feel real until you start taking responsibility. And the first one that you have to take responsibility is yourself. So, yes, it's brilliant that you have done a lot of work waking yourself up. Brilliant, fantastically. Let's make sure that as you come out of this lockdown, you feel safe. You feel safe within yourself. So every time that you talk to somebody, every time you go somewhere, you bring with yourself that safety. And people realize that the safety that you feel depends on what do you believe about yourself and how secure you feel about the practices that you practice every day, the techniques that you practice every day. So, going back, breathing, taking the time to stop, be very kind. Let's not pretend that everything is alright when it's not. That has never worked. If you ever feel anxious, afraid, depressed, if you feel the negativity coming upon you, sorry, take the time to acknowledge it. Take the time to own it, embrace it. Know that you can do something about it, because that is the key. That is the key of feeling safe, knowing that you have a technique. And if any technique at this point, there are thousands of techniques outside, but the basic one is your breathing. Breathe very deep, breathe very guttural, breathe into your stomach, breathe into your emotions, breathe into your third chakra, breathe into your willpower, breathe into that butterfly effect, into those feelings of fears and insecurity. And if you ever remember to tap, believe me, the moment you're doing it and you stop being afraid of what people might think of you, because they will look at you like, okay, what's happening here? And you will be like, I don't care, I'm fine. And you just tap, because if you don't tap, if you don't breathe, you might lose it in that moment. Believe me, this is a lifesaver. And as you begin to upgrade, you're feeling safe, because you begin to feel like actually breathing works. And actually this tapping works. And if you begin to realize that these little practices that you are doing are having a positive effect on you, and are having a positive effect on your emotions, you just want to do more of it. And there is an array of great practices out there. Me personally, there has nothing, and I've done hundreds, I'm not going to say thousands, but I could say very easily in my 30 years meditating, I could very easily say I have tried hundreds of practices and different techniques to calm down anxiety levels, fear levels, insecurity levels, shame levels, I mean, all kinds of negative levels. Just something to bring them down, and nothing that in my personal experience has worked as well as Tapilini. I'm gonna write it on the message here, on the box here, so you can go and visit in the this website. You will find everything that you need to practice the meditation complete, which is 5 repetitions of the mantra in one breath, 5 Guru Guru Vahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru, 5 times in one breath, tapilini.com. Okay, there it goes. And the tapping points as well. You go to the page resources, and you will find there the track, the audio track that you can download free to guide you through the process. At the beginning, it's very common that your tongue goes everywhere, and it's difficult to maintain the rhythm. Practice. If you are someone who needs to control your emotions, learn to balance your emotions. Learn to shut your mind voice of negative recording messages. If you need to tell your mind, let me sleep, let me get on with my life, let me focus on the positive beliefs that I have, all these positive beliefs that I've been putting into my mind, let me focus on that, and let me forgive and forget the negative beliefs that have been great teachers, but I am ready to let them go. If you're in that position, when you feel like you have the opportunity to empower yourself to the point of saying, I'm now going to get rid of my PTSD. Yep, I've been traumatized many times and at very deep levels. Yes, I have spent hundreds of pounds and dollars on therapies and treatments. Yes. But let's see if I can begin to build my own self-empowerment by simply focusing on my breathing, tapping, and once you get onto that stage, upgraded it to the full Tapilini experience. That will, I guarantee you, from not only from my own experience, but from the experience of people who have tried this technique, it keeps you safe. It keeps you safe from yourself. It keeps you safe from your negative beliefs. It keeps you safe from the limiting beliefs. You have done a lot of work in the recent lockdown. You have done a lot of introspection. You have come up with a lot of new ideas on how to be more authentic, more real, more connected with what is important to you. So let's make sure that you can stay in this path, that you can focus on everything that is important to you. And whenever negative energy comes close to you, you have the ability to say, enough, enough, no more. I'm not gonna get trapped in these emotions, and move on. So, Let's take a deep breath in. Let's take a deep breath in. And exhale. Today, it's Friday, the 5th of June. And we have a full moon, I believe, in the next couple of days. I think it's either this Sunday or tomorrow, Saturday. I mean, I know that a full moon is coming in. If you are into moon cycles, you know that these full moons normally affects us very emotionally. I tend to go, my emotions tend to go like wild boars. I mean, it's like, I don't know what I'm feeling, why am I feeling it, how am I feeling it. And the only protection that I can count with is my practice, my discipline, and my determination to not let darkness consume my light. So this is what I want to share with you today. Tapping, truly an impressive technique. Google it, tapping or EFT, emotional freedom technique. Very, very powerful technique to help you disconnect the beliefs to the emotions. Hugely powerful, hugely powerful. You truly will love the effects of this meditation. I mean, you will go like, how is it possible? And if you want to go deeper into just the tapping, just Google tapping and anxiety, and you will find a list of hundreds, I don't know hundreds, but a lot of people with guided meditations. Whatever it is that you want, if you want for money, if you want for get rid of a certain emotion specifically, I mean, there are a lot of it. Tapping and just tapping and breathing is kind of the first step. Something that you can take anywhere in any situation. And you only have to remember to stop, breathe, exhale, and tap. Whenever the moment calls for it, whenever you feel the emotion rising, cool down, ground yourself. Ground yourself. Own the situation. Don't feel threatened by it. Realize that you have the power within you to save yourself. I wish that we were told these words more often in the news. Words that empowers you. That tells you that by connecting with your breathing, you can control your emotions. And the calmer your emotions, the more space for your body to heal. It is like we open the space for our being to do what it's meant to do, which is live, heal, and grow. That is what we are meant to do. But we have to start with ourselves, taking responsibility, breathing. And I know you can do it because you are doing it right now. We are doing it right now. And it's so simple. Little by little. I invite you to go up into the messages and find the link to tapilini.co.uk website. Give it a look. As Buddha says, don't believe me. Don't believe anybody says until you have filtered through your own intelligence, through your own intuition. And if anything of this feels right to you, then give yourself the opportunity to put it into practice. And if you feel that actually this has helped me to cool my emotions, maybe I can begin to do it myself. I don't need to have a guided meditation. I don't need to have someone in front of me telling me, okay, now let's breathe. But maybe now it's time for us to take it to the streets and say, okay, I'm going to be brave. It's time for me to be brave and confront my own fears. And I know that by breathing deep and tapping, anything feels better, feels like I can cope with it. And that is the important thing. That is the message that I wanted to share with you today. Feeling safe is within you. That's what at the beginning of this transmission share the message that my teacher used to say to me. If you feel like you have something to lose, you already lost. So it is very important that you feel that you have nothing to lose. You have nothing to lose. And that is very, very, very powerful, because everything depends on your own inner peace and level of security. Of course you're going to do whatever is you feel right for you. You're going to put your mask, you're going to wash your hands, you're going to do everything that you need to. But I'm talking about feeling safe within yourself, keeping the levels of fear, insecurity, anxiety levels down. Tap, 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 tap. Okay? So let's take a deep breath in. I want to thank you, all of you. If you have any questions, if you have anything that you would like to share, please write it down in the sections below here, in the sections here, and send it. Let's talk about it. We still have 10 minutes more, but I don't want to take more time if you don't want to interact, because this is your time now. I want to thank you personally, you who are watching this moment. I want to thank More Yoga for this opportunity to connect with you. I want to thank each and every one of you who have been part of this transmission. Orphe, photographer, Jem, yoga with Luis, Alice. I mean, thank you so much for being part of today. Gustavo, thank you so very much. And please, if you want to connect with me, you can connect via my Instagram. That's Samsara, Ank.samsara in Instagram. And the website, and I will give you the website. It's www.ank/samsara.com. There you go. And I want to invite you as well to, how do I get it? To see you this Sunday. I have a transmission on Sunday that to talk more about our spirituality, how to feel stronger, how to feel safe, and how to feel happier. So without more ado, I want to thank you. so very much. I will see you next time. Namaste. Satnam. Hasta la próxima. Ciao. Thank you so much. And let me put this.